Alright lads, how's it going? Adam here from Adam vs FIFA, and today is a little bit of a different kind of video. Although I love bringing you the chart career mode, as I'm sure you do as well, I thought let's mix it up, let's bring something new to the table. So, I'm going to give you my Premier League predictions. Now how I'm going to do this is going to go from the bottom, the 20th position, all the way to the top. And the thing about this is that I'm probably going to get it wrong. Nobody in history has ever got every single place right. If they have, then they cheated or something, or they're a psychic. Maybe they looked into the future, saw it and cheated. But not many people get it right. I'm definitely not going to get it right. So what I've done, I've just gone with whatever. I don't think this will actually, well I must do because I picked it, but I don't think this will be the actual outcome. This is what I think I'd like to. This is what I'd like to happen, I guess. But I can see there's a tiny bit in my mind thinking it could happen. Of course it could happen. 20 teams, they could finish wherever they want. So let's get into it. Finishing last, Watford. I'm really sorry to any Watford fans out there, but I'm just going to go through why I think they're going to be bottom of the league. Now, and I don't mean to sound horrible here, but I think they're going to finish last by quite a bit. I think 10 points is what I'm kind of going with in my mind. It's a recipe for disaster, to be honest. It's not even started well. They bring in a new manager who's had a track record of just doing okay. The best thing he's done is won the Europa League. I was going to say the Champions League. Nope, definitely not done that. With Atletico Madrid in 2009. I think that was the year that they beat Fulham, I think. And that's a good achievement, but that was a pretty beastly squad that he assembled. Watford, they're not the richest club in the world, but they are owned by the Pozzo family, who might make Watford into their kind of main project, because the other clubs they own, one of them is Udinese. But for me, Watford, it's not happening, boys. I can't see them any higher than last. Player to look out for them though, Barami. Like, I'm a massive fan of Barami. When he was at West Ham, I thought, what a player. I thought he could actually be at a club like Spurs. I thought he had the actual technical ability to be at a better club than West Ham, and then they got rid of him, so I don't know what happened there. But he's one to look out for. I think he will get them. He'll chip in with a lot of goals because his free kick accuracy is very good. It's quite underrated, but it's very good. Next, Norwich. Again, I'm really sorry. The bottom three, I'm really sorry to all the fans of these clubs. But Norwich, I think the problem I find is that I think the Beacon, their manager, Alex Neil, he is fantastic. He's done absolutely fantastically coming into the club, came straight into the Championship, got them right up the table. Although they were doing okay anyway, he just carried it on and just... The mentality there is really positive, really just a winning mentality. And I think that will get them through a handful of games. But the thing, they haven't signed players that really excite me. Robbie Brady is on his day, is an exciting player, but he's with Hull. He was with Hull in the Premier League, and what did he do? Squat diddly. He was injured for a majority of it, but that's not a good signing. For 8 million quid. Not the best signing in the world. I'm really sad that they didn't get Leroy Fer again because he was fantastic for them in the first place. But Norwich, 19th, I'm really sorry. Standout player for them, probably Nathan Redmond. He's a good player. He was very, very good at Birmingham, went to Norwich and they got relegated. So, then making up the bottom three, Leicester City. Now, I would not be saying this if Nigel Pearson was in charge. Why they got rid of him, I have no idea. Like, that makes no sense. They went on that incredible run, which I think they tallied up since April when it started happening. They tallied up out of Europe's top 5 leagues, they were something ridiculous like third, behind like Barcelona, and then like Juventus, I think was the other one. But that's incredible. In a really difficult league, with not good players, but Ranieri's come in. I love Ranieri, and I don't want them to get relegated, but I think they will because I don't know what's going to happen. Ranieri, it can either go one or two ways. He could have the most ridiculous season ever. They could finish 10th. But then the season after, I think they would get relegated anyway. So, I don't know. But my head is saying it can't happen. They can't. The signings they've made haven't actually been too bad. Fuchs, or Fucks, if you want to call him. And Azaki was actually one of my kind of little gems I used to pick up on FIFA. So, if he can get it together, then maybe. But I'm going to put them the last team to get relegated. Not by a lot. I think maybe a point or two, maybe even goal difference would separate it. Standout player for them, Kasper Schmeichel. Brilliant goalkeeper, really underrated. Needs to go to another club. If he has a good season, he will be picked up by another club. Like, I have no doubt about that. Then, just surviving relegation. Now, this is what I mean, but these are very, very edgy, optimistic choices. Bournemouth. Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth stormed the Championship last season. The reason they stormed it is because they didn't really have a dip in form. They had a very slight slump, I think over February, where they lost and drew a couple of games, but then they just carried on it regardless. It was fine. Really good team. Fantastic manager in Eddie Howe. He is someone I could see being a future England manager. He is him. I guess I could put Alex Neil in the same category. A young, go get in, come on, let's do it attitude. And they play fantastic football. I'm an Arsenal fan and I love the way they play football. Stand-up play for them, Matt Ritchie. I want Matt Ritchie to do like exceedingly well. I've watched him as Bournemouth come up leagues. He is brilliant. I love watching Matt Ritchie. In 16th, Sunderland with Dick Advocat. Now that's very good that they managed to get him. Although I guess the decision to kind of go back on his plan to retire is a bit worrying, that he might halfway through the season go, no, I don't, Dick out. But I think they will just scrape it again just because the teams below them are just worse. Like, that's the only reason for it. They need to get rid of John O'Shea. They need to get rid of Wes Brown. But they made some good signings. Yunus Kabul, although he's had kind of like an on-off time at Tottenham, he's still a decent player. He's a good Premier League standard defender. And unfortunately, Leroy Fer was going there, but then he failed a medical. So don't know what's up with that. They've also got players like Jermaine Defoe. Adam Johnson, although he is a paedophile and whatever, he's still a decent player. And then other kind of just standard, will give you a consistent run of form. Stephen Fletcher, Seb Larson. I could go on, but I think they'll be all right. Stand-up player for them, probably Defoe. If Defoe gets them like 12 goals or something like that, that'll be enough. They'll survive on that. Above them, West Brom, Tony Pulis. Oh, I love them. Love West Brom. I love Tony Pulis more than West Brom, and I think that's the reason I like West Brom. But regardless, good team. I think they have probably a worse squad. They probably have an equal squad to the likes of Norwich and Leicester, but because Tony Pulis is such a good manager and will just grind out results, they will survive and they will jump up a little bit more. Stand-up play for them, and maybe one of the best transfers, I think, in my opinion, James McLean. James McLean had a fantastic season at Sunderland when he was first in the Premier League, but then he kind of went off the boil. He's a bit of a controversial guy, but I think Tony Pulis can kind of focus him down and say, just play, stop talking, just play. Above them, Sherwood's Villa. I'm undecided. I don't know whether Tim Sherwood is a good manager, and I don't even think he knows. It's kind of a, yeah, we'll go get him, yeah, but I don't know what tactics he is actually bringing. Done a couple of signings. Micah Richards, good signing. Scott Sinclair, kind of expected it because he was on loan there, did very well. There are talks that he may be signing Adebayor. I really hope he doesn't, because one, I hate Adebayor, and two, he doesn't deserve to be in the Premiership anymore. He's the kind of player you would expect to see in the Indian and maybe American League, because he's all about the dollar. Regardless, I think Sherwood will have a fine season. The squad is better than the other ones, and that's the reason why. One dodgy decision though, why they've let Ron Vlaar go. Ron Vlaar is a free agent, and someone should snap him up. Like, please, he's a good defender. Standout player for them. It's hard to pick one, to be honest. I like the signing of Rudy Gestede. I don't know if it'll be good, really, but I've grown to like it. At first I thought it was a silly signing, but I think it'll be alright. Key player of their season, Jack Grealish, if he can produce some of the form he did. I think the Liverpool game, exactly, that was perfect. Although they have lost Benteke and Delph, I didn't even think of that. Maybe they should be lower. I don't know. I'll keep them there, but whatever. Jack Grealish. Now into 13th, West Ham. Really, really digging West Ham's team. I really like it at the moment. They've got rid of the players they don't need anymore. Stuart Downing, although he was very, very good last season, it doesn't fit with West Ham, I don't think. They've brought in, probably, and I think it is the bargain, just over James McLean, Dimitri Payet. What a player. He shouldn't be at West Ham. Like that, I'm sorry, but he shouldn't. He should be at a team like Arsenal. He's very similar to kind of like Santi Cazorla, Ozil, on par with Ozil. No, worse than Ozil. I was going to say better, but I mean Ozil is a World Cup. No, okay. But Payet, I really hope he has a good season. The only problem is that the strikers at West Ham, Andy Carroll, Enner Valencia, Sacco, who's okay, and then I can't remember who else they've got. Have they actually got anyone else? There has been rumours that they will sign Charlie Adam, and if they sign Charlie Adam, I may go back and change this. I would put them as high as 8. Charlie Adam, I think, is fun. Just realised I'm saying Charlie Adam, not Charlie Adam, Charlie Austin. Not Charlie Adam. Charlie Adam is shit. Sorry, but he is. He's angry. Scottish. Horrible. They brought in Slaven Bilic to take over from Sam Allardyce. Don't know how that's going to go. Sam Allardyce is just a kind of level hitter. He does the job. He always gets it done. Bilic, he's had very good for Croatia. Okay, Fibonacci, but the rest of them have been a bit dodge. So I don't know. It can either go one or two ways, kind of like the Ranieri situation. But I think 13th, I think that's a fair assumption where they're going to finish. Key player for them, it's got to be Payet. Got to be Payet. If Sacco can kind of do a whole season of what he did over the first half, whew! On to 12th, Southampton. Maybe a bit of a surprise. I put them quite low down compared to where they finished last season. Ronald Koeman. He did a fantastic job. He really did a fantastic job. No one really expected it after everyone left. And the same thing has kind of happened again. They've lost Klein, who I think was very important, and they've lost Schneiderlin, who was, well, he was the rock of the team. I think the only good thing from this is people like James Ward-Prowse, Victor Wanyama are really going to step up. They're going to make that midfield role their own. But I think they lack in the striker department. Shane Long is kind of like a goal in every 4 games, 3 games. Pella did very well at the start of the season, then kind of boiled off, and then didn't really get his form back. Mane, I thought was a left winger. I don't know how, if he is a striker now, then great, he does very well. And I think that's it again, unless they've got some, like, someone coming in or maybe some youth people. Key player for them, Fraser Forster. Really good goalkeeper. Really, I'd maybe even slash out with Jose Fonte because they were very good together last season, but Forster is injured at the moment. So we will see. On to 11th, Newcastle United. Steve McLaren as well. That was supposed to be Dutch, not Scottish. I sounded very much like Sean Connery. I think they'll do really well. I think they've made some really good signings. Wijnaldum, it comes from PSV. Really good player, like a really good player. Another team I really expected Leroy Fer to go to. I really want Leroy Fer at a club, if you can't tell. But again, they've still got a really good squad. Alan Pardew has left them in a pretty good position. 11th is fine. I think it would be good for Steve McLaren just to get back in the Premier League, just to kind of level out his CV after these kind of weird jumps and bumps, but I think they'll be okay. Key player for them, Tim Krul. Tim Krul, I think, is a fantastic goalkeeper, should be at a better club. Did really well in the World Cup when called upon, and brings a really nice air of calmness to the back four, which is needed at Newcastle. Into 10th, Everton, Robbie Martinez. Oh, Robbie Martinez. Really good first season, really poor second season. He's got to go back up, surely. The most important thing for them is holding on to John Stones. What a player. He will be a future England international. Like, he will be. There's no question about it. The talent there is mind-boggling. If they can hold on to him, I know Chelsea are probably going to come in with a final bid of 30 million quid. That's nice. That's a nice amount of money. They could do stuff with it. But I think they have a really good squad. Tom Cleverley on a free, although people are kind of taking the piss out of it, I think it's just an extra body in there. He did all right at Aston Villa. He played for Manchester United, so there must be something there. If Martinez can get out of him, perfect. Key player for them, Lukaku. If Lukaku is on form, Everton are on form. That's simple as. On to 9th, Swansea. Oh, Swansea. When Gary Monk took over, I thought it was disaster. I thought this is the stupidest thing they've ever done. Michael Landrop was doing very well at the club, but Gary Monk somehow has taken them to a whole new level, and they've made, I won't say the best signings, because I'll get onto that in a bit, but they've made a very good signing in Andre Ayew. I did forget to say that Jordan Ayew has joined Villa. Forgot about that one. But he's the worse one, in my opinion. Andre Ayew, brilliant player. Really good player to watch. He'll fit in perfectly with Swansea. Down the flanks, Montero, him. Woo! Did very well after losing Boney. Gomez stepped up to the plate very well. Did an alright job. But yeah, good squad. Really like their squad. Kept it all together. Ashley Williams at the back is a rock. He should be playing for Arsenal. It's a shame that never materialised. But 9th, key player for them, Gary Monk. If Gary Monk can just continue his good work, they'll be fine. Into 8th, Stoke! Stoke! Now, I never thought I'd be saying this. And it's coming today. I am doing this a week after the first games have been played. Sorry about that. I should have done it on the whatever. Apparently, they're going to sign Shaqiri, which will just kind of... It's just impossible. It's impossible to think back that when they came into the Premier League, they were all about just muscle and Roy Delap. And they've come on. They're now a pretty damn good squad with Mark Hughes. When did Mark Hughes become a good manager? When did that happen? But again, they've got a really good balanced squad and lots of depth in it now. And I think if they were in Europe this year, I think they'd cope really well. I wouldn't even go past to say that they've reached kind of the knockout phases of the Europa League. Really good squad, a crazy amount of signings, really good signings in fact. Key player for them, I was going to say Glenn Johnson as a joke, but if they bring him in, Shaqiri. If they don't, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Charlie Adam. Charlie Adam was really good last season. He was really good. He does a very good job of just making everyone else feel uncomfortable. He breaks up a lot of stuff. He has a hell of a good shot on him as well, although it's not really executed too much, apart from the goal against Chelsea. Don't know where that came from. And his passing range, actually. His passing range is very good. When he was at Liverpool, he did show that off. But The problem with him is that tactical awareness is a bit poo. He just runs into people, but it works. And it works for Mark Hughes, it works for Stoke, whatever. On to 7th, now this is my one. This is my one for it. Crystal Palace! Ah! I have fallen deeply in love with Crystal Palace. I don't know where this love came from, but Alan Pardew, I hated the guy. I thought he was an arsehole, but I love him now. I think he's a brilliant manager. I really think he's a brilliant manager, and although I did go back saying that Eddie Howe will be a future England manager, I really hope after Hodgson that they give Pardew a chance, because I just think he'll do it. I think he's a very lucky man, but I think he would do it, and he'd do it well. I think he would do it well. But this is the team that made the most fantastic signings of the window. Connor Wickham, £8 million is a bit much, but a really good player. Johan Cabaye, what a signing. What a signing. Like, I can't get my head around how that actually happened. How Pardew phoned him up and said, do you want to come to Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park? Oh, yeah, I guess, yes, Alan, of course. And keeping hold of Balassi, if they do keep hold of him, I hope they do, I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that is too absurd that they couldn't finish there. And I think they will. Another team I think Charlie Austin could slip right into and do really well for. If they do, then we'll see. Key player for them, Cabaye. Easy. Or, if Cabaye hadn't have signed and I was choosing one from last season, Scott Dan. Oh, Scott Dan! Wow. On to 6th, hate them, Tottenham. It's obvious. Why? Because they're just not as good for the top 4, but they're not too bad that they won't fall any lower. Simple, really. I don't really want to talk about them if I'm honest. Signings-wise, they've made some okay ones. Kieran Trippier's a good signing. I can't actually think who else they've signed. Have they signed anyone big? I don't know. I don't know if they have. I don't really want to talk about Tottenham. I'm sorry, if anyone supports Tottenham, I support Arsenal, so I shouldn't really do that. I do, like, there are parts of Tottenham that I like. When they were under Harry Redknapp, I loved them, actually, which I didn't tell a lot of people, and I don't want to tell anyone ever again. Key player for them, Lloris, if he stays fit. He's got a broken wrist, but I think he is coming back shortly. Vaughan did play the first game, but Lloris was on the bench. If Lloris does well, Tottenham will do well. Like, there's no harm about that. And of course, Harry Kane, right? I have to mention him. Harry Kane had a fantastic season. As an England fan, I really want him to have a really good second season. Like, please have a good second season. But if he doesn't, then mayday. On to 5th. This is a big shout. Man City. I didn't think they were good last season. I didn't even think they deserved to be in the top 4. I don't know where they kind of get their results from. It just seems that they kind of pummel the other teams around them and don't really do well against the big teams. Sounds ironic coming from an Arsenal fan, I know. But Yaya Toure is a year older. Silva is a year older. Di Michelis, I don't know. Mangala, I don't know what happens with Mangala in his head. Vincent Kompany was the most fantastic centre-back 2 years ago in the world. Don't know what's happened to him. If he can recapture that form, then Man City will be higher up the table. But I don't know if he will. Up front, Aguero. Aguero could play for any team in the world. It's a shame that he plays for Man City. I'd love to see. I'd even love to see Aguero at Chelsea or a Barcelona because he'd be fantastic. But he's at Man City because they've got the dollar and promises and whatever. Key player for them, I'd say Aguero. But I'd like to say Sterling. I like Sterling. I think the money for Sterling is way too much. That's a given. I think everybody knows that. But I'd like him to have a nice season because then going into the European Championships, England have some confidence. Him and Kane. Woo! On to our top 4! You'll never walk alone. It's Liverpool. I'm only saying this because they've just made insane signings. Benteke. Benteke is a really good signing. Now, I don't know what you're going to say to that because he played for Aston Villa. But I mean, he's good. He's a proven striker. We have had this before though. Remember when Robbie Keane went to Liverpool, proven for Tottenham, and then... But I think you do alright. Other signings, Firmino, keeping hold of Coutinho. Surprised no one went in for Coutinho, to be honest. Really good player. And of course, signing of Klein, really good signing. And sorry, but Glenn Johnson, good thing you got rid of it. But I think Liverpool have a really good season. I think Rodgers he'll work out a formation that will work, but they've got really good squad depth. Markovic, Emre Can, Skirtle, Lovren, whatever. 4th, I think it's fair. Key player for them, if Benteke performs. I think he will. I think he's going to hit 20 goals this season. I think Liverpool will do really well. On to 3rd, Manchester United. As much as I hate them, they've made some cracking signings. Memphis Depay. He blows my mind. I love Depay. Schneidlin, really good signing, solid midfielder. Matteo Darmian, the right back from Italy, really good signing. Sergio Romero, although a lot of people were not excited about him, he's a really decent keeper. He's not like a bad goalkeeper in the slightest. Is he as good as Victor Valdez? Should Victor Valdez be playing? Probably. But Romero is a very good signing, and it'll do if De Gea does leave, which I think he will. I hope he will for his sake. Schweinsteiger though. Don't think that's a good signing. I really don't think that's a good signing. He is a very good player. He was a very good player, but he is a bit past it, I think. Unless they kind of mould the team around him and give him like a Carrick anchor position and really like let him dictate the play, I think that would work. Key player for them, Depay. Love him. I think he'll do really well. And here we go. Who do you think I've gone for? I am an Arsenal fan, so it was obvious I was going to go for Chelsea second. Look, this is just me being hopeful. Chelsea, I hate Jose Mourinho. I think he's an arrogant little prick, but he's fantastic. He is a special one. It's easy. It's easy. I think they will win it really, but this is just my prediction. This is a bit of fun. They've got a fantastic squad. I'd like to see Juan Cuadrado. I think his name is Juan. I really like him. I'd like to see him. And I'd like to see Mohamed Salah come back, because he did fantastic. I hate that Mourinho just won't give him a chance. He's a really good player. Costa, if he stays fully fit this whole season, he's going to be fucking dynamite, isn't he? Key player for them, it's got to be Courtois. Czech's gone. There's a hell of a lot of pressure. Begovic has come in. Begovic is an okay keeper, but he's not on Czech's level. If Courtois pisses it up, he pisses up for the whole team, really. And finally, I can't hit the button. Premier League winners. No, I don't think they will. But I'll tell you reasons why I think they will. Check. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Adam, you've seen the first match, what Czech did. Yeah, he did. He made us lose 2-0. He pissed it up for 2 goals. But it's just a debut. Don't worry. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And he'll do fantastic. He'll shore up the defence. It'll be fantastic. I really want to see Gabriel, the defender. I think he will come into his own this season, because I think Mertesacker is very slow. It's like having a bloody snail in defence. Apart from that, we do need another striker. It's a shame that we haven't signed a striker. We're linked with Benzema every bloody season. I don't know, to be honest. I don't see why Benzema would want to come to Arsenal. But Cazorla, Ramsey, Coquelin was fantastic, really good. Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Rosicky even. Really good strength in midfield, fantastic strength. Up front, Giroud. I love Giroud. I think Giroud's a really good player. He does link-up play fantastically. The only thing he does need to work on is probably his finishing, which is a bit kind of like, well, he scores lots of goals. Well, he scores an alright amount of goals, but you see the chances he misses. They should be going in. A Diego Costa scores them. Come on, Giroud. Special shout out to Danny Welbeck as well. I really want Welbeck to do well. He was, I love Danny Welbeck. I really hope he kicks on and has a good season anyway. Key player for them, Ozil. If Ozil performs, we will win. I don't think that's too absurd. I think if Ozil gets on a good run and does well, I think we could win it. So, there we go. They're my Premier League predictions. Some are a bit stupid, some are a bit out there, some probably make sense to you. But anyway, what do you think? Please leave your suggestions in the comment section below and we can compare them, come back at the end of the season and see how wrong I was, how very wrong I was. Anyway lads, I've been Adam. This hasn't been FIFA, but it's just been football stuff. I'll catch you later. Bye.